Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. We are 50. Our 50th anniversary. Can you believe this? Oh, and we're starting a big celebration next Friday, the 12th of February. And we're launching into a big anniversary weekend, too, starting that Friday, which means we are going to celebrate by bringing in a lot of bands, talking to them, having great interviews with them, alumni that we've had from past KISW incarnations, lots of big names from the Pacific Northwest. I mean, this is...
Dude, I'm looking at some of the bands that are going to be joining us on Friday, the 12th, next Friday. Members of Pearl Jam, the Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Heart, Alice in Chains, Metallica, Guns N' Roses. It just goes on, man. It's going to be some great, some of your favorite KSW bands are going to be joining us all morning, all afternoon, all night. It's going to be a good time.
And it's amazing because, of course, 50 years of just rocking it, there are a lot of folks that made that happen. And especially you, the Rockaholics, you're going to be here with us, too. So tune in on Friday the 12th because you'll hear the stories. We'll be talking to you. You'll be hearing the memories. And, of course, who knows? Maybe we can tell you just some of the behind-the-scenes just insanity that went on, even that was more insane than what you were hearing on your radio. You want more information? You know where to go, KISW.com. Our 50th anniversary supported by Palace Law.
Let's play B-Migs. It's time to play the jam. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to be and it's Thursday, so let's get cracking. Yeah, happy Thursday, everyone. Great. How you doing, people?
Which off the air, I believe BJ deemed it a different name for today, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, this is National Steve Day.
I did it all for the cookie.
Yeah.
The cookie.
I was a little worried, by the way. Because I had been to Steve's office. I had been in the studio, and Steve yesterday showed us a picture and said he went to that great cookie place. What's the name of that place?
Crumble Cookie in Puyallup.
And Steve said, look, I got some treats. There may be some missing, but I'm bringing some in.
Right. I showed you it's a box of 12 cookies, and I'm like, I promise you at least one of them will not be there when I come in tomorrow morning.
And so I walked around and I didn't see any box anywhere. And I'm like, oh no. But I thought, you know what? Listen, he's a busy man. He could have forgot them. Don't get in his face about it. So
where are the cookies?
So I went about my business. I got my own breakfast. So I thought, well, maybe today or tomorrow rather. And it turns out it was today. So today is National Steve Day.
That's right.
Thank you, Steve.
I did it all for the cookie.
Yeah.
The cookie.
And you can see why.
The cookie.
Yeah, we made a video of it. It should be up soon. Crumble Cookie. I mean, it's now I get why there's a line out the door. It's so damn good.
Crumble with no E.
Right.
I just love the world we're living in because donuts have been just ramped up on steroids and cinnamon rolls with our buddy at Cinnaholic, and now Crumbled has done that with cookies.
And I like they change their flavors every week. So if you dig something, like I love their churro cookie, but this is the only week I can enjoy it until they decide to bring it back. But they have some really good flavors, including a Butterfinger one and a chocolate strawberry cheesecake one that was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Another great place down in where, Steve?
That's in Puyallup.
Yep.
I think they have one in Covington as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
It's still
Still south
of where I am. Yeah.
Let's get to our contestant today. We got Kiana and Bothell. Kiana, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. Don't need any more cookies.
Leave the cookies here.
I'm grabbing another one of them Butterfinger ones, baby.
Oh, for those playing at home, Kiana will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Kiana, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
What year in the early 90s did The Real World release their first episode?
98.
No.
97.
No.
99.
No. In modern badminton, how many points typically wins a singles game?
11.
No.
14.
No.
10.
No. Who played the title character in the 2009 movie Sherlock Holmes?
Pass.
Pink. Pink, pearl, ambrosia, and cameo are all varieties of what fruit?
Peach.
No.
Pass.
Who directed the 60s horror film The Birds?
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes.
Nice.
What team did Lawrence Taylor play for in the NFL from 81 to 93?
The Browns.
No.
The Packers.
No.
The Jets.
No. Gerard
close.
Way is the lead singer of what band?
Pass.
Ooh, Kiana got one correct.
I'm so disappointed.
You're disappointed. I'm actually impressed because she knew about Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
I mean, Kiana's like, she's young.
That's
And
kind
she-
of a staple movie there, I feel.
Really?
I feel like everyone should see that movie or should have seen
The
it.
Birds?
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Well, Kiana, sorry about that, buddy. But, it was a lot of these were out of her wheelhouse.
Yeah, just
no
not
doubt
a
about it.
wheelhouse thing, and unfortunately, sometimes that's the way it goes.
So
And,
do you, without saying the name of the movie, Danny, Vicky, do you know that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
I haven't seen it, but I know it.
Wow. You know what? I am very surprised that people are still like into that movie. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good for that particular filmmaker.
Yeah, in that genre in general. Steve, how many cookies did you have?
I just had one more bite of the peanut butter Butterfinger cookie.
Oh, man. Please save at least one little bit for me.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a little too
I
late.
can't confirm or deny there's any more left.
Yeah, you better get out there and get it quick.
Are you ready?
Release the Kraken.
In what year in the early 90s did The Real World release their first episode?
91.
No.
You said Real World, right?
Yeah, Real World, sorry.
1992.
Yes. In modern badminton, how many points typically wins a singles game?
21.
Yes. Who played the title character in the 2009 movie Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, is that Pierce Brosnan?
No.
Yeah, that's it.
Hugh Jackman?
No.
I'm trying to think of some fancy looking guys. David Schwimmer.
No.
Okay.
No. Pink, pearl, ambrosia, and cameo are all varieties of what fruit?
Apple?
Yes. Nice job. Who directed the 60s horror film The Birds?
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes. What team did Lawrence Taylor play for in the NFL from
New York
81
Giants.
to 93? Yes. Gerard Way is the lead singer of what band?
My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
In what state was Rosa Parks arrested for not giving up her bus seat?
Was that in Arkansas?
No.
Alabama?
Yes.
Nice job.
Oscar de la Hoya was a well-known professional
Boxing.
at what sport? Yes. The Drunken Clam is a fictional bar from what animated series?
That's SpongeBob SquarePants?
No.
Simpsons?
No.
Family Guy?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Too late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You win 8-2 Uno.
Oh, sorry, Key.
Yeah.
One?
Yeah.
Which one?
Not my best friend.
Nope. She got the birds right.
Yeah.
Of all the ones?
Yeah. And
Well-
that was kind of made BJ surprised that people knew about that movie, and that's what we were talking
Well,
about.
somebody
when
of
you
her
sauntered
age,
in.
because she's similar
Yeah.
age to Danny and Vicky, and that she knew. So good job. Thanks for playing, Kiana.
Someone said, can we give her 3 points for sounding so cute?
Yes. You still lose. Sorry, Kiana. Wow. So now it's 4-8.
kind of like those couple of gimme touchdowns at the end of a game where you're like, oh, the game looked close, and you're like, no.
It is amazing, though, like somebody's demeanor can just, you'll be like, you know what? Your demeanor is putting me in a great mood. I like you. You should win something.
Yes.
You're cute. Here's a prize.
Well, I mean, it's just like, my wife has always gotten credit for that. She walks into a room and people go, I really like you. You got good energy. And then, of course, the yang walks in.
And then you walk in like, can you leave with that man, please?
Yeah. And now they know why she married me. She's got to balance out the misery. I mean, otherwise, it's not fun when I walk in by myself.
That's hilarious. The only one that you missed, Steve, is who played the title character of the 2009 movie Sherlock Holmes. Does anybody know this?
Wait, this is the movie, right?
Yes.
It's Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, it was.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, you have. I was really shocked. Like
I
that.
forgot.
I thought I was missing something. I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of Sherlocks all over the place.
There
but
has been.
In the movie, the latest one is only Robert Downey Jr.
He did 2, didn't he?
Yeah, there was 2 of those.
I liked the first. I remember I wasn't feeling the second one.
I have seen neither of them.
I couldn't watch it either because, unfortunately, I watched Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock, and I thought, there's just no way I'm going to
That's
watch.
the guy I was thinking of. I was trying to think of that fancy British guy. I was like, the dude that was like, wasn't he Doctor Strange also?
Yeah, yes, totally.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
But that was a TV show. So that's what's
but
not
they
a movie.
kind of played like movies.
Oh, no, they were as long as
No,
movies.
I know. But that was the guy I was trying to think of, even though I would have been wrong. That was the name I was trying to think
And
of.
we actually do have a new Sherlock Holmes in a movie.
Who's that?
Enola Holmes, which
Oh,
is the
yeah.
movie.
Oh,
and
that's
her
right.
brother, Sherlock, is played by Henry Cavill, Superman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's
Oh,
Enola?
yeah, that's
Where's that
right.
show on?
Netflix.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
on-
movie.
I keep. Oh, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better then, because she's supposedly the unknown sister, and we actually have, at least in the British lore that we've seen lately, Stephen Moffat's version with Cumberbatch, they did have a sister in that, if I'm not mistaken.
Is she also like a detective or something?
Sort of like aspiring, like she's like looking for her mom or something along those lines. Yeah, so it's something like that. So it's kind of a cutesy younger version, sort of Sherlock Holmes. Gotcha.
Now, I don't know if this is made up by their current stuff, but I don't remember Sherlock having brothers or sisters, and he's got a brother in a lot of stuff, and he's now got the sister.
Mycroft, I think, was in the original stuff.
So he was in the books.
I believe so.
Well, yeah, I totally didn't know that.
I literally, I read Sherlock when I was like in single digits, so I don't remember
No
that
S.
much. Oh yeah,
Sherlock.
I walked into that one.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I'm going to get out of here now. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, you should go. But you know what? We'll miss you. All right, I will anyway. So how about this? One of Tom Brady's teammates just shared a great story about Tom telling a teammate to stop crying after they won the NFC Championship game. You're going to hear all about it at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
New on Curiosity Stream. Deformed trees, mutated wildlife, and no humans for miles. 10 years after the disaster at Fukushima, see what this irradiated ecosystem can teach us about nuclear fallout on Radioactive Forest. Plus, looking for the most diverse marine life on the planet? Dive into the Coral Triangle and experience a frenzy of wildlife you've got to see to believe on Nature's Greatest Secret. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Tampa Bay linebacker Levante David just did an interview where he talked about having Tom Brady as a teammate, and he shared a pretty funny story about Tom. Apparently, after the NFC Championship game, one of their teammates was emotional and crying because he was going to the Super Bowl, and Tom went up to that player and told him to stop crying.
So how vocal has Tom been about his Super Bowl experiences?
When I realized that it was real, when I realized that, like, all the other stuff don't really matter. It's the Super Bowl. It's like after we won the NFC Championship, you know me, I'm all happy as I'm geeked up. I guess somebody was crying, and I guess like I heard him. It's like, what the you crying for? We not done yet.
Wait a minute. Who was crying? Who was that crying?
I don't remember. I want to say it was. I don't know if it's Chris Godwin or Jada Mickey. It was somebody, and it was like it was him. You crying for? We not done yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like he right. You know, I had a little 2 tears too, so I wiped my.
Oh, you a little teary eyed also.
Yeah.
He said he wiped his
like,
quick.
Man, I'm tripping, man. We still got work to do.
That's great. He sees Tom yelling at one of his teammates. He's got tears in his eyes. He's like, quickly, oh, yeah, Tom, that guy, he's got to stop crying.
Yeah, and I'm glad.
Such a little wimp. Come on.
I'm glad we got the full aspect of the story because you're right. It could be hey, you're a wimp, but really, I think it's more like, Tom, you don't cry until we do the whole thing.
Right. He's just like, hey, we still have one more game to play.
Yeah, getting to the Super Bowl is not the goal. It is winning the Super Bowl, and I can appreciate that. Then, you know what? Tears are flowing. I mean, you just got such a release. Of course that's going to happen. But sometimes people will put the cart before the horse, if you will, because I can't think of a better expression.
Well, and also, I mean, show some respect to the horses. Come on.
Yeah, you're
going to get mad at you.
I know Peter's going to be mad at me.
I don't know what the proper saying is, but it's clearly not that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to imagine, though, you finally, you've been playing football your entire life. This has been the goal to go to the Super Bowl, and when it happens, you got to be caught up with emotions. But it's nice to have a guy like Tom Brady be like, quit crying. We got one more game. There's no crying in football.
It is an interesting thing, though. I think, and Steve, I don't know about hockey so much, but there is something like if you get to the championships, like that is really an amazing accomplishment. And even though you haven't won it, what a wonderful moment for both teams. But somebody is going to lose, and then that wonderful moment is ruined. You know. But there is that. At least in football, they are all stoked to be there. It's like they are the champions of their conferences, and it's. I can see you being emotional. It's that big of a deal to actually go to the game.
Do you think, though, if you're one of the two players that he listed, like the one that didn't cry, you're like texting him and me, like, dude, why'd you say my name? Like in this interview, you said that I was crying. I wasn't crying at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so, like, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm what channel's broadcasting the Super Bowl this year? I don't know if it's Fox or I always forget which one is which.
Well, they change it every year.
Right.
I think is it CBS this year? Is it Channel 7? Cairo 7?
I think you're right.
I think they got it this year.
I mean, you got to have a cameraman on that player because if he's got waterworks from just going to the Super Bowl, if they win the Super Bowl, forget about it.
Yeah, you're right.
And CBS. I hope that CBS.
Yes. Yeah, it is Cairo. Okay,
I don't know about you though. Like, I don't like when they show the players that lose and then they're like all teary eyed. Like, I feel so bad for those guys.
Oh, it's
and I know
beating.
It's like at the end of the day, they're like multi-millionaires. Like, why am I feeling any emotions? But it's just such a hard thing to watch when like someone loses a game and then they zoom in on that guy's face and he's just all red eyed. And I'm like, man,
it's even
show
worse.
me the happy players.
It's even worse when it's your team.
Yes,
because of course that happened to us.
The crying is bad, but at the same time, I kind of do enjoy, even if it's my team, just when they're just like looking there, like not crying, just staring, like, how did this happen?
What the hell just happened?
Yeah, like I don't know how what? They're just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, you've got guys that they just won't leave. I've seen that in the World Series where it's like, I don't know if it's like, I want to get the hell out of there. I don't want to see somebody celebrating, but some of them stay on the bench and just watch.
I can't remember which game it was, but it was a recent game in the NFL playoffs where the losing team, a player on that team, oh man, I can't remember the name. I'm sorry,
his name was Freddie.
But he just stood there and watched the other team celebrate while the rest of his team was in the locker room, and he didn't come back until they were done celebrating because he wanted that as motivation to be better for the next season.
I can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It's like, let me take it all in. Let me just feel all of this agony of defeat. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So Tom Brady told an emotional Bucs teammate to stop crying after only reaching the Super Bowl. Based on this, we want to know, how about you? When have you experienced tears of joy? What was that awesome moment that brought you to tears? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. When have you experienced tears of joy? What was that awesome moment that brought you to tears? We got your calls. We got your texts. After System on The Rock.
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. So Tom Brady told an emotional Bucs teammate to stop crying after only reaching the Super Bowl. He's like, we got more work to do. You can't be crying now. Based on this, we want to know, what about you? When have you experienced tears of joy? What was that awesome moment that brought you to tears? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Nick in Kirkland. Nick, you are on the Rock.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
5 times of joy. Once when I got married, and once when all 4 of my children were born, the most recent 7 years ago.
Okay, first of all, I will applaud you, Nick, for at least saying the right things. You know, whether they're true or not, that's what you're supposed to say. My marriage and my kids. But for you, that was the real deal, right?
Yeah, I'm an emotional wreck when it comes to positive things. You know, I bleed happiness, man. My son's even worse. We got a new lizard for Christmas, and he cried. He was so happy.
Dude, I have to tell you,
Vicky cries when she sees a lizard. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow, that's a different kind of situation. Well, I'll tell you this, Nick. I mean, all the books that I'm reading, I'm not reading a lot of books, but at least the ones by Brene Brown are saying that you're doing it right, man, as far as showing dudes that, you know what, crying is a cool thing to do. Because we don't have cigarettes. We don't get to overindulge in alcohol anymore. So there's really no way to manage our emotions. And really just having a good cry once in a while is the best way to pretty much vent out the stuff and not go crazy. So you're setting a good example, dude.
Now, if I could just get my wife to let go once in a while.
Oh, really? So she's the stoic one.
She's hard as nails.
Yeah, she likes to hold on to it.
Wow, man. Well, you know what?
That always worries me because at some point there's going to be an explosion.
Yeah.
and it usually ends up with her sobbing in my shoulders because she deals with depression. So, you know, I deal with it. I've been with her for 10 years, and I've gone through the ups and the downs and cried with her. So,
oh, see, dude, that's all. I mean, you know what? That's all anyone can ask, man. I mean, really, you're just being there for somebody. That's all you got to do. You just be there, and you're doing.
But I'm with you with the birth of a child. Like, I remember that was the moment where I truly understood what the whole concept of tears of joy meant. Because it's like when that little alien thing was popping out, and it was like, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's our kid. It was just like overwhelming waterworks.
Wait, dude, I mean, you traveled a road that a lot of people don't travel.
Right. It was 6 years of trying, a lot of heartbreak, all that kind of stuff. You know, trying all the scientific ways. Nothing ever worked. And then by a miracle, as we always say, it just happened to work naturally. And then when you know, and then also just like the 18 hours of labor. So now we're like, you know, I'm awake for more than 18 hours. It was just nonstop. You know, I couldn't finish my Thai dinner from the night before because the water broke. That brought me to tears, but that was sad tears.
That was a beating, dude.
Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep putting, you know, like the whole thing. Where
you had a tough job.
Well,
all that pushing you had to do.
I had to say push. I mean, it was crazy.
I know.
When Tatum popped out, man, holy smokes, I was just like, this is happy tears. Before that, the only happy tears I ever had were when, you know, of course, when the Tacoma Donkeys won their 3rd straight beer league championship. For our 3-peat. That was very emotional.
That ranks up there, if you ask me.
That was, I mean, it might have been too many Coors Lights also that led to those tears.
That could have been that too, yeah. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Sam and Squim. Sam, you are on the Rock.
Morning, BJ. Morning, Miggs.
Morning, Sam. What was that awesome moment that brought you to tears?
A couple of years ago, 2018, my daughter got married, and you know, it's kind of unexpected for me to kind of cry like I did. I was crying like a little baby because, you know, it was just that. My baby girl was no longer my baby girl. You know, she's a grown woman, and so yeah, even now I'm getting choked up about thinking.
Dude, I know what you're talking about, and I've often brought myself to tears just thinking about when Sarah finally gets married. And luckily, I mean, up until about 4 years ago, Sarah couldn't keep a boyfriend, or he was always going to jail. So I never thought I'd have to worry about it.
One or the other.
Wow.
But then she met J. Rubs, who has been a stable and good dude, and they're getting close to 4 years. And I started having those same thoughts, like, oh man, I mean, this is a true other man in her life, because I was the only man she ever needed. Like, you know how it is as a father. You're the only dude, and you'll protect her, you'll take care of her, and now someone else is coming in who's going to do that job, and you're not going to be like in charge of that anymore. And it's big, dude. Oh man, it's big.
Well, prepare yourself. Make sure you got tissues.
Yeah, Sam, you're right. You're at it, because look, most men are a lot tougher than I am, so I am going to be the biggest. It's going to be a beating. It really is going to be a beating at her wedding. It's not going to be cool.
Just get you really drunk and you'll pass out before that moment.
That is a good call. I think that is a great call. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me is those pet reunion videos.
Yes.
Where it's just all of a sudden it's like there's like the dog there and hasn't seen its owner for like 4 years for whatever reason, and it's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden it gets the sniff of his human and just starts running around everywhere and is like the most excited thing you've ever seen in your entire life and just won't stop licking the person's face. Those things are so great.
That's how I react when my wife gets home. I always freak out and I start licking her face. She doesn't like it. I think it shows that I love her.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Dude, it's usually when it's like the guy comes back or the girl comes back from deployment.
Yeah.
And then they surprise like their kid and then their dog. And it's like, it seems like the dog's more excited. But, regardless. No. Those are the videos that get me every time.
That on a related note, that's a similar thing for me, but it's usually during like Survivor or a show called Alone. On the show Alone, where you basically have to outlast everybody, where you're just given nothing but like 10 items, and you have to live alone on some remote area and hunt your own food and everything. And they don't know if they've won or not, because it's just they stay every day, hoping they're the last one to live, but they don't know, and they never know if they've won. But their wife or their husband always comes out from the woods, and dude, that gets me every time, because the dude is crying his ass off, or the chick is crying her ass off, the same thing, because they have been out there for like almost 3 months in some cases, just living off nothing, have lost probably 30 to 40% of their body weight, and gets me every time. This time I go, all right, I know what's going to happen. I know that there's going to be a winner this episode. This is the last episode. I am not going to cry. And my wife makes fun of me all the time, because here comes the family member, and he bursts into tears. And the next thing you know, I'm just like, oh, man, every time.
How about this one? I cried tears of joy yesterday. Signed the paperwork to buy my grandparents' childhood home. I spent every summer there, and I learned countless things I still use today.
The grandparents' home?
Yeah, and it was his childhood home.
Wow. Oh, that is... that's Sarah's dream, is just to live in the same house as everybody else has, like generational.
We've had a few people that were just like, one person said we were renting a house for 5 years. The landlord sold and evicted us with 30 days notice. We tried to buy a house on a limited budget and with no avail. And then finally they were able to make it happen, where they were able to finally get the house or another house, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Staying with family for weeks. I cried because my wife and I were just so grateful. Yeah, dude, I've seen some people going through like that the pressure of like having to get out of a home and get into a home and not being able to know in that weird limbo, and that's emotional.
Yeah, 30 days notice, really? That's all the landlord did? What a piece of... Yeah.
This one might be my favorite, though. Listening to your show is when I cried tears of joy. You guys did a topic a while back asking who's someone that you look up to or something along those lines. My stepson looked at me and said his pick would be me. Instant tears. I had to pull over.
The stepson?
Yep.
Dude, that is amazing that you as the step get that kind of adulation.
That's pretty cool.
That is, because that doesn't always work out that way.
So mine's actually, it was similar to Rev's and Steve's. Like, I love watching like people coming back from deployment, having their kids' faces, but I just remembered one, and I'll watch this video over and over again and I'll cry every time. Over the holidays, I gifted my mom. We have a friend who's an artist, Justin Hunt, and I reached out to him and I commissioned an artwork piece of my late grandfather and my foster brother, because we always joke, like, he's he's a gift from my grandfather. He passed away 1 month before he was born. Prince Miggs.
Oh, I see how you're thinking.
Yeah, and he loved kids, and we always talk, if Grandpa Simon was here, he would love him, and it would be so much fun. So I had him draw my grandpa with my foster brother, and my mom it rocked her. Like, and I cry every time. I'll watch the video every now and then, and I'll just cry every single time.
It's a really cool piece, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you showed
Showed
me the reaction of your mom, and it's a pretty powerful thing to see. Like, just you could tell there's a lot of emotions going on, and it's pretty awesome.
Because he drew him as my younger grandfather, not when he was 6. My mom just has this memory of him in the hospital, so to see him younger, she almost didn't recognize him and healthy. So it was kind of nice. She got to see him again.
That was thoughtful.
I'm just like,
that was Vicky that did that?
Yeah, right.
Wow,
thoughtful.
Thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty
actually, it was my brother. I'm taking the credit.
Let's go to Mike in Seattle. Mike, you are on the rock.
Hi there.
Hi, Mike. What about you? What brought you to tears?
Well, I have really extremely bad sleep apnea, and it was it's been for maybe close to 10 years, but I didn't know that, and I just kept getting tired, more and more tired, and run down like every day. I started falling asleep behind the wheel on my way to work, and
oh damn,
it was miserable. But they brought me into the doctor, and they told me that it was one of the worst cases they'd seen, and they told me it was going to change my life, giving me a CPAP.
Wow. So so not having any idea what the hell the problem was, you're probably like, my God, why am I so different than everybody else that this is the case? And I bet you used to have to deal with that and get grief from people. And you're like, dude, I'm doing the best I can. I don't understand. And it was the sleep apnea. And and you've got the device and it works and you're like, cool.
Yeah, it took a while to really get used to it and to get it to be really effective. But even the first night was just night and day, completely different. It's like not sleeping for a year and then finally getting a night's sleep.
Damn.
You wake up the next morning feeling like the Energizer Bunny.
That's amazing. You were able to function all your life with that, having no idea, dude. That I could see how that would bring me to tears. Really?
Yeah, to finally get a good night's sleep?
To wake up with energy. Because, dude, trying to do stuff when you have no energy and you're tired, the willpower alone just to push through and try to figure it out is insane. And then falling asleep behind the wheel anyway. I mean, that's
scary.
Oy, oy, oy. Do we have time? I want to play this because I just love Kaylee Cuoco.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, because the Golden Globes were announced, and Kaylee, if you remember her as Penny, of course, in The Big Bang Theory, but she starred in another show, and she just got a Golden Globe nomination for that, for Best Performance by an Actress in a TV Series, and it was for her work on HBO Max's The Flight Attendant, and both Steve and I have seen that, and the show was also nominated for Best Series. But no doubt about it, you and I both watched The Big Bang Theory, and Kaylee was good in that show, but she was always the same character. It was a comedic thing. To see her express the range and display that she did in Flight Attendant, it's...
Nobody on The Big Bang Theory is going to get to flex their acting muscles. It's a fun comedy, but you're not really going to show any kind of depth to your acting abilities. And I thought she did a great job in The Flight Attendant.
And so, of course, we're talking about people having tearful moments.
Series, musical, or comedy. Lily Collins, Emily in Paris, Kaylee Cuoco, The Flight Attendant, Elle Fanning, The Great, Jane Levy. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Can't believe it.
Who's is that like her husband, I guess?
I think it's got to be the person she's living with, yeah.
You're like,
whatever.
I don't know why, but that just sounded funny. That's a great video, though. You could just tell there's like years of her not being taken seriously as an actress. And that moment to get that nod must have been a pretty amazing feeling.
I would have loved it if she just looked in the camera and said, "Do you know who I am now, Miss Pat?"
Oh, gosh. To go back to the Burt show?
Yeah. I don't know who you are, Kaylee. Oh, man. Well, good for her.
I'm glad that happened. Otherwise, that would have been a really awkward video. I don't think it was done live, though, so I think she probably wouldn't have posted if she didn't get nominated.
Yeah, and that
would have been super awkward.
So she must have known that it was possible, but it wasn't definite because her reaction was one of somebody, wow, so I did actually get it.
Like a massive relief.
Yeah, wow. Well, you know what? She does a good job, and if you're looking for a good show, The Flight Attendant is a fun show.
Yeah, she gets naughty in it, too.
Yeah.
Drunk and naughty.
I say fun, but there's also some serious moments, too, so I don't think it's complete fun, but, I mean, it's good. All right.
Blood and planes.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums up the show.
Blood and planes. I like it.
Lots of blood, lots of planes.
A woman, speaking of planes, was almost kicked off of a flight because, her chest was too big. And she was almost kicked off a flight for that. I'll tell you all about it at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases, and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.